Best of luck. Now, before we move on, lots of people have been getting in touch about neck nominations. Heidi is 16. She says, I'm absolutely sick of hearing pupils talking about drinking at school. I totally agree with the fact that some kids need to see the seriousness of getting drinking. It's technically a poison. If my friends don't stop getting smashed every Friday night, she's 16, they're going to end up as an alcoholic or with kidney failure. And Trish is saying she's given up alcohol for February. Two things annoy her: being called boring, which I'm not, same thing that you've had, and paying a fortune for non-alcoholic drinks. You take out tea bags with you, don't you?
I take tea bags, it's much cheaper.
Right, the Catholic Church have been warning of, now let me get this right, mummismo. Mummismo.
Yes.
This is Italian boys being so tied to their mammas that it's affecting their marriages. And they say that separation, it accounts for something like 30% of marriage separations in Italy.
Yeah.
The mother-in-law just coming in and interfering. Is it something that you would take into account, Jane?
Yes, absolutely. And it's going up as well, they say. And no, I mean, my relationship history, whenever I met a boyfriend's mother, and I would see that kind of thing where you'd think, OK, she's telling him what to do all of the time, and she's waiting on him hand to foot, go, see ya. Because they're going to if ever I got to the point where I was going to marry that man, they would transfer that relationship. He would expect me to behave like his mother is behaving.
So
Plus,
put you off,
she'd be this constant thorn in your side. I mean, how hideous. Christina Adone has done a really funny piece in the Telegraph today, because she was talking about a friend of hers who's married to an Italian. And his mother came to stay, and she said, first of all, she came in and went on about how shockingly pale her son was. And then it was Christmas. And then she said how tasteless and foreign Turkey was. And then she went off into their bedroom, rifled through the chest of drawers, and came back into the living room, waving his underpants and going, unironed. And you are married to that for the rest of your life, aren't you, really?
Well, so you would immediately turn off someone even if you really thought they would just...
Yeah, I think a man's relationship with his mother is really crucial in how he will be when he's with you.
I must say, I went out with a guy, I was never close to marrying him, but when I learned that his mum left him a Tupperware tub of home-baked Rice Krispies every Thursday morning, I did think,
now, listen to this. When I first met Shane, his mum, who I eventually became so close to, were like best friends, but I've got to say the first year was a bit hellish. And when we first moved in together, she used to come around on a Sunday with a cooked Sunday dinner for him. None for you.
not for you.
Oh, no. And again, you know, she was lovely, and then he'd walk out the room and she was all, you know, ha, 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 and then she'd walk out the room and she'd go, he'll be home in 6 weeks. But I just dealt with it like, you know what, he probably will. When he tastes my cooking, he'll be home in 4 weeks. You know what I mean? And gradually, she knew that I wasn't trying to replace her, and because it is difficult, obviously.
Yeah.
You know,
So how are you then with your boys?
Well, I try so hard because I've seen, you know, when I was growing up and all of that, I saw mothers that just wouldn't, you know, just wouldn't let them go, and I thought, I'm not going to be like that. And I'm a bit the opposite. It drives my boys insane, because if they have rows or anything with their girlfriends, I'm always on the girlfriend side, you know, and they go, Mum, you know, you're meant to be our mum. And I go, no, you're wrong, you're out of order. If they are wrong, you know, I'm not just going to go, don't talk to my boys like that. But I have to be careful because, and this is without me trying, they have said to me that it is massively important for me to like their girlfriends, or it puts them off slightly of their girlfriends. So I'm really loath to go, I really don't like her. I do it when they've split up.
Yeah.
I go, oh, thank God I didn't like her.
Isn't that
but I won't do it
interesting?
if they're going out.
Haven't brought them up like that, but they still want that so important.
They want the approval, yeah.
Yeah, from their mum.
But then it's kind of a bit sad, because it kind of suggests that if a man has a good relationship with his mother, which is a good thing, which we would all like, then they seek her approval, and then that can, you know, go into their future relationships. I mean, because in Italy, although you laugh at it as a mummy's boy, but actually the closeness between the mother and the son in Italy, in a lot of ways, is a wonderful thing.
I was going to say,
you know, because,
I think sometimes it can be a good thing. If a guy's got a good relationship with his mum, it shows that he is nice and caring, and that would
it depends how domineering she is, I think, and that kind of, you know, as you say, it's like that sort of thing. Oh, he doesn't like his tea like that, and it's just like, what? Why do I care? It's just that sort of constant sort of drip.
You would be my kind of nightmare as a future daughter-in-law. Let me just. You would scare me to death.
I mean, the problem is, as women, we complain so often about men and the way that men behave and the way men treat us. but it's actually women that make them.
Yeah.
It's the mums that make them like that.
But at the risk of annoying Jane again, and I'm sorry, going back to our earlier conversation when you're talking about, you know, the woman's bond or the mother's bond is kind of very different from the man's bond, and, you know, the separation for the woman is more difficult. And I was saying, do we get into martyrdom territory there? I wonder if you're seeing it here, because if women think their most important role in life is to be a mother, and that's how they get their sense of self-esteem, then clearly that is going to follow through to no other woman is going to treat my boy like mine.
I mean,
whereas if they had other things in their lives that were equally important, they might not be quite so... Are you following me?
I
I did get a lot of sleep last night. to be honest with you.
I
was drifting off then.
I've only got daughters, but I would say that with my 21-year-old, who's currently off on a gap year somewhere, God knows where, there was a very distinct point in her life where I felt I was no longer her parent as such, I was her a consultant. So that if she wanted to ask me something, she would know where to find me, particularly when she went off to university and she's doing her own thing. So you let them go and make a few of their own mistakes. I think if you constantly think, you know, I'm the most important person in their life and they've got to defer to me on everything, that is completely wrong.
Yeah, but if you don't have anything else in your life and your kids are getting to that stage they're off to go out in the world, then that's a natural thing.
Well,
you cling on.
I think my first boyfriend, his mother had a massive business. She was flying all over the world. She was like a high-powered woman, and she used to be so lovely to me while we were sat together with him. He'd go out through him and she'd go, "Can't you see? You're making him miserable. When are you going to leave him?" So it was nothing to do with her not having anything else in her life. She just wanted her boy.
And on that happy note, that's the end of today's show. Tune in tomorrow when Julie and Clary will be terrified. No, we'll be joining Miley, Janet, Sally and me. See you at 12:30. Bye.